Thank you for joining us. I'm Hannah Getz. We start with the ongoing impact of Hurricane Helene in the Carolinas. At this hour, we've learned there are now 10 confirmed storm-related deaths in North Carolina. At least 3 were in our area, 2 from fallen trees in Charlotte and Kings Mountain, and a 3rd from a crash in Catawba County. South Carolina officials report 22 deaths in that state, including 1 in Chesterfield. Right now, evacuation orders are still in place for many along the Catawba River after Duke Energy released water from the Cohens Ford Dam. This video shows the Riverside Drive area in northwest Charlotte earlier today. Now, I spoke to North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper this evening. He said crews have carried out over 200 water rescues already, many of them in the western part of the state. He said efforts are ongoing to get supplies by air to people who are trapped.
Getting those supplies into the area is critical. It is extremely challenging. People in the mountains know that the topography is difficult anyway, but with so many landslides, with so many roads that have been taken out, with so much still underwater and some rivers still rising, the danger is not over. There is a lot of work that needs to be done.
From Asheville to Lake Lure to Boone, today we got to see firsthand from above through Chopper 9 Skyzoom the conditions that are making it so hard to get those resources there. Our coverage started with Riverside Drive in northwest Charlotte, where Friday morning mandatory emergency evacuations took place. Water rushed down the Catawba River and filled the streets and homes. Next, we headed towards the mountains in Lake Lure. Debris filled the waterways where colorful kayaks broke up the sea of brown debris. Docks were floating in the middle of the lake, chairs and tables still sitting on top like the structure wasn't ripped from a home. Lake Lure Beach was washed away, and the historic Lake Lure Flowering Bridge, once a blooming botanical garden and overlook, now destroyed. Community members could be seen walking over the debris of the neighboring bridge. Not far from there, at Chimney Rock, another bridge ripped in half by the strong floodwaters. The once postcard-perfect mountain town still held on to some of its beauty in the middle of the destruction. But the wineries and breweries that looked over the water are now washed away. The waters in Biltmore Village are receding, leaving weeks, months, and even years of cleanup. It's hard to tell where the Swannanoa ends and Asheville begins. The popular tourist destination left a ghost town. The River Arts District was still underwater, and this building covered past the first floor windows. That destruction continued along the Swannanoa. In Black Mountain, a group of people gathered outside the Ingalls. Roads are still closed along I-40. This mudslide taking up the majority of the highway. It left behind a path from the top of the hillside. Old Fort is now covered in mud after the heavy flooding. The conditions in Morganton were shocking. The town is still underwater. On Friday morning, emergency officials told Channel 9 resources were stretched extremely thin due to the number of calls they were responding to. Trailers, trucks, and brick buildings were floating in the floodwaters. The flooding in Boone was nearly gone, but this home on the hillside appeared to have been destroyed by a landslide. Across western North Carolina, dams were at their limits. Rivers were swollen, homes destroyed, and lives lost. Cell service is still so bad in that part of the state, our crew could not even get this video from Asheville to us until today. Take a look. You can see all of this floodwater overtaking cars, an old Super 8 motel, a gas station, and other businesses. Water pushing cars, trees, and other debris around. You can even see it swallowing 3 cars right there. This rescue crew was using a small boat to get people there to safety. The rushing water so strong, though, that at one point, one of those boats flipped and was carried off in the current. Some of the people we talked to said they have never seen anything like this before.
It came up almost to the parking lot 6 years ago, but nothing like this. This is like 100 times worse.
We saw the National Guard come in with some forces to help out as well, so kind of once in a lifetime stuff.
We learned some of those rescuers in Asheville came all the way from New York and New Jersey. Governor Cooper said at least 19 different states are assisting the Carolinas with resources.